So, buddy of mine, Paul Anderson, put out this idea. He heard about this, what they call this grease trail down the Douglas Channel. Grease trail, it's this one here used for thousands and thousands of years. It's from the Git-Gat. They had this natural land corridor where they would go up the Quoll River, which is just in behind at the very back of Kikiata Bay. So they'd go up this river. You're looking for 2 cedar trees. That is the start of the trail. And what we read is when you see these cedar trees, you will know. Can't be too hard. They hike through the forest between these 2 mountains, and then from there they would paddle a lake, float down this little stream to another lake, into this Extall River, and then they would float down into the Skeena. And then that's how they would trade with other Aboriginal tribes. One of the big things of trading was the Oolakan. Here's what some of the Oolakan grease looks like. They say it's more valuable than gold. I tried this theory out and I brought a lot of gold to the Crest Motel in Prince Rupert. Tried to get a room. They wouldn't give me a room with just that. They also wanted my credit card and they wanted to charge me $250. I don't think it's actually worth more than gold.
And we're off. Down the Douglas Channel we go.
Decided best to spend the night on the boat before we head up the Quoll the following day. That will give us a full day of going up the Quoll. So this is a good plan. Paul was not happy with this plan. Paul wanted to go now, and it's like 6 o'clock in the evening, and he wants to go now. So we calmed him down, and we decided to go the next morning. Next morning, we get up bright and early. We head up the Quoll in the jet boat with all of our gear. We make it quite a ways up the Quoll River. I'll put it on a map there just to give you guys an idea of where we're going. So we made as high as we could. Some pretty skinny water in that little boat. It was pretty cool though. We're flying up the Quoll River, just a little river in the jet boat, and we got eagles. Like we got 1, 2 eagles dropping out of the trees in front of us, dropping out of the trees, flowing down in front of us, and this is just going off steady. The salmon, every little pool in there is just dark, just full of salmon. It was something pretty cool when we were going up there, and it was kind of setting the stage of like help build the excitement for the trip. We get up as far as we go. Ben drops us off in our boats. Get our little pack rest inflated, throw our gear in there, and the water's only like ankle deep for the most part. And off we go. We start walking up the Quoll River. The salmon were so thick though. I've never experienced this before. We're walking up the creek, and Paul would be ahead of me, and he'd get into a bit deeper of water, and he'd spook all the salmon that were in a little bit deeper of water sitting there. And so they would go ripping away as fast as they could. Boom, they're coming downstream, they're banging off my legs, and we're talking salmon, right? Fish story. Anyways, we're talking salmon. They're nailing me in the legs. What a weird experience. Anywhere on the shore, you look on the shore, anywhere it's soft, you got grizzly tracks, black bear tracks, you've got wolf tracks, moose tracks, everywhere. The wildlife, there's a lot of it that rely on this river. We keep going.
Okay, we're killing it, buddy.
And we get to a fork in the Quoll, and we know nothing. We don't know where these 2 cedars are. That's what we're looking for. But from us looking on the map, on Google Earth and stuff like that, we figured if you go left at this little fork, it would bring you kind of to what we assumed would be the link up to the trail. This is what we thought. So we both agreed. So we went up probably about an hour up this little section. And then Paul and I stop and we're looking at the GPS and we're going, okay, we went this far. It's got to be in the next little bit. There's the 2 Cedars got to be there. We're discussing this. We're like, okay, we'll just keep going and now just start really watching the side and we're going to find these 2 Cedars. So that's the plan. So Paul turns, he's in the lead, starts going, and then I see this little poof, this little burst of. It's like, Paul, stop. And then he turned back to look at me, and then his bear spray just unleashed. It unleashed its entire contents.
2 Cedars.
Thankfully, most of it was just spraying into his hip belt. It knocked it down a bit, which was good, because I was standing close by. We get Paul's pack off, he drops his gear and everything like that, and he's not burning up right away, but within like 30 seconds, it's starting. I'm reading my can, it just says, flush it with water. If that doesn't work, just call a physician. We can do step 1. So that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, we're at a point in going up this creek where there's no more water. That creek dried out. We went past what was feeding it coming down the mountain. It wasn't that far back, but Paul had to then run back. He's burning up. He goes back to where the creek starts, this little pool there to wash up. I stay back. I'm cleaning up his gear best I can. And Paul comes back like 15 minutes later going, I feel better. I feel better. And I look and he's still got some orange on him. He's got some orange on his shoulders, neck, on his side. His face is glowing red. You don't look that good. He goes, I feel good. He's like, well, I think you missed a spot. So he grabs, he was only back for maybe like a minute. And he goes, oh, I'm burning up again. So I'm going back to the creek. So off he goes. I'm like, Paul, you want me to come with you? I can help get the stuff off that you can't reach. He goes, no, I got this. So off he goes, another 15 minutes, he's gone. And he comes back and goes, yeah, I feel better. I'm like, okay. You still got orange on you though, Paul. He goes, no, but I feel good. Maybe a minute or 2 later, he goes, I gotta go back to the creek. I gotta wash it off again. It's like, do you want me to go with you? That next little part there of me going back to the creek water with him to wash it off. Paul and I agreed. We both agreed to never speak to anyone about that moment that we shared. I don't think it deserves to ever be spoken about. Oh, that was memories. Whoa. Anyways, go back. We get our gear. I go take a leak before we go. And we started heading up the trail, up the dry riverbed again. We didn't go very far, and then I feel a little tingle. Then it's not so much of a tingle, but I got a burning sensation down there. And I remembered that I cleaned out Paul's pack. And then I went pee. Not good. Not good. I mentioned it to Paul. I was like, oh, I'm on fire here. This is crazy. And it was hurting. But he gave me zero sympathy. Zero. Like he just pointed out that his entire body was on fire. Okay. I get it. He was in worse shape. We keep going up the qual there, and we're watching for these 2 Cedars. You'll know when you see them. This is what we're told. You'll know when you see them. Like, really? But some guys had done it before, and they said they saw them. They knew when they saw them. No, I'm not seeing these Cedars. And now we're starting to go up these like elevation. We're climbing elevation. We're going up, climbing like right up waterfalls. We get up above this one waterfall, and when we look at the GPS, and we're like, we're getting too close to the mountain. Like the trails should have been back there further, and it's not making sense. It's not making sense at all. We're very confused. We don't know where these cedars are. But we discuss and we realize they can't be this far up. Not this far up that one left fork in the river. We decide we still got time. We're going to go back down the creek, back down to that fork where we made that decision to go left. So we do this. We hike all the way back down. We're going to just do some just go and explore a little bit before we set up camp. Realize that this is probably the way to go. There was a guy, Taylor Backrack. He had just a couple weeks before, he had come through this grease trail, but he did it backwards. And we came around the corner, and on the beach we see a campfire, leftovers, like the burnt wood of the campfire. We're like, Taylor was here. He came backwards to the trail. The trail's got to be up this way. And that's where he stopped. So spirits are raised. We are excited now. We know the way. This is great. So we go back. We set up our camp. We're on the riverbank there. Spend the night.
Good day, Paul. Good day, Paul.
I don't know.
It's an adventure.
Paul couldn't go anywhere near the fire because apparently he's still burning up or something. I don't know, bear spray. So we decide the next day, okay, spirits are raised, we know the way. We're going up to the right. We saw Taylor's campfire there. We passed Taylor's campfire there, the remnants of it, and we start going up. On the map, it looks like it's only a couple kilometers up, and then the river actually curls over to the right, but the divide in the mountains is to the left. We start heading up, and it's not that bad, and then we hit a couple, we're hitting some big, serious log jams. Luckily, the bears and the wolves that are all there in the area have made nice little trails around them. So we would take these little animal trails and we'd get around these log jams. And we're still looking for these 2 cedars. Looking for these 2 cedars. You'll know when you see it. This is what we heard. And we're getting to a point again where it's like, no, now the river is curling to the right. It can't be here. We got no cedar trails around. It's not here. It's not making sense. We couldn't find it. We couldn't find no cedars. I still don't know where these 2 cedars are. But they weren't up there. I have no idea where these cedars are. So Paul and I are very defeated at this point. We went like 4 hours up that one creek. 2.5, 3 hours up the other fork here. And we can't find these cedars. We can't find the trail. So I didn't say anything to Paul, but in my mind I'm going, okay. We came, we've spent 2 days out here. We tried, we couldn't do it. Maybe we're just gonna float down the Qual River, right back into Kikiata. Fishing boat will come pick us up. I didn't say this out loud. I was waiting for Paul. Oh, that's gonna let him make the decision to be a quitter. But then Paul goes, we're gonna go up this other fork. Back up that left fork again. I'm like, oh no! I was so hoping he was gonna say, let's go back to Kikiata and then I just float down the river. I'm like, okay, sure. So his idea is we're gonna go back down to that fork and then we'll go to the fork and we're gonna hike up a bit and we're gonna just bushwhack right to the divide between the 2 mountains. Okay. Thinking this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. Just so we're clear, my body is hurting. We're falling into these massive trees. Like some of them are like 7-8 feet diameter, and we gotta get over this thing. It was not fun. So we keep going. We're going through the forest, keeping that mountain there. And then we decided to actually start using, Paul knows how to use a compass, so we decided to start using his compass. Pulls out his phone, so he's looking at Google Maps. I got a GPS, I got a Garmin with me, with a screen. So I'm looking at that, and we realized that for the last little bit, we've actually been going in the wrong direction. We've been bushwhacking for nothing. This is... And we know we're to the left now of the divide. We're like, okay, so we just gotta go to the right, to where the divide is. We're gonna come across this trail. We have to. That's where it is. Paul comes across some moose tracks. So Paul goes, well, we spooked him. You know where he's running. He's running to the lake. It's obviously where he's going. He's going to the lake. So we're just gonna follow the moose trail. This makes zero sense to me now. This makes no sense whatsoever. But we followed this moose track. And this moose track decided to go like up the mountain. The lake's not up the mountain. So this is what, when people are exhausted, these are, I guess, the choices that they make. Not very good ones in hindsight. So we follow this moose trail up this mountain. And then I hit a point where I was like, I'm done, Paul. I can't go anymore. We have to get back down now. We start going down, and it is just gnarly. We're falling all over the place. Oh, it was terrible. We hit this boulder garden that we had to go down and then up the other side. And Paul goes down, up, and I'm still down in this boulder garden. Paul yells, I found it. I froze. I was like, what? He goes, I found the trail. But I'm like, how does he know he found the trail? Sure enough, I get up there and Paul found the trail. He walked right onto it. There's a dent. It's about yay wide. Dirt trail right through the forest. Wow. It's still there. I look at Paul and like, we're gonna do the grease trail. We're on it now. I'm gonna get to pack this on the grease trail for the first time in who knows how long. I'm packing this through, and I took a moment to just think about, for thousands of years, the Git-Gat, we're walking this trail that I'm on. It was just a really, really special feeling. It's very humbling. Yeah. So we get to the lake. We get to the Extall Lake. This was where we wanted to be on the first day. We lost a day, but we still made it. We're on the right path. Paul's still complaining that his body is burning up because of the bear spray. At this point, I'm kind of sick of it. I just want to enjoy the moment and not hear him complain about it. I'm reflecting back on, again, just the original like Git-Gat, them doing this for all those years, and like they'd get there and they'd be doing the same sort of thing, or maybe they traded right on the corner of the lake. I don't know, but someone was paddling back and forth across this lake for thousands of years. They were paddling this lake. So we're paddling, we get to the end of the lake, and now this is where the lake flows through a little creek, and then it flows into another little lake, and then it flows into the Extall River. It's just full of log jams. That took us about 3 hours to get through that little section, and it's only like a kilometer and a bit long. We made it to the lower lake. The lower lake's pretty small, and it was just a quick paddle. Boom, we're done the lower lake. We're out onto the Extall, and it was just paddle straight across the Extall River, right to the beach, and we're spending the night here. Right here, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna have a good night's sleep, have some supper. The bugs were horrendous. Day 3 is gonna be easy. Down the Extall. From what we were told, there's one section where there's a rock garden, and it gets pretty crazy through there. Like, so we might have to do a portage around that. And any unknown log jams and stuff like that, we just need to be careful because the X-Doll is a pretty big river. The water in the upper X-Doll is a glacier, so it's got this just amazing greenish turquoise and blue color to it. It looks so nice, and the weather's great. No rain, nothing. Like, this is gonna be a good day. We paddled down and we hit that rock garden section. We carried the boats down part of it to get through the worst part. Just kept paddling and just taking moments to just relax after those couple hard days of hiking up the river and then trying to find the two Cedars. Forget about those two Cedars. Last day, or on day 4, we woke up. We looked at the map and we're like, this is another good day of paddling. Thank goodness on this day here, Paul's not complaining about the bear spray. I'm not looking for no more two Cedars. The scenery is epic. Me and Paul, these two little inflatable boats, we've just come from the Douglas side and now we're on the opposite side of the mountains, just paddling down this river. We get to the crossing of the Skeena. We can see the highway. It's about 1 kilometer across, I think is what Paul said, about 1 kilometer paddle, just to get across the Skeena. So we head out. The water's calm. Everything is good. It couldn't be any better. And so we start paddling across the Skeena. Left the X-Doll. We're going across. We paddled for a little bit. So we look around and we haven't moved since the last time we looked back. Tide's changing. Tide's actually dropping off now. So it's okay. Start paddling. Because this tide going out of the Skeena, I've heard horror stories and like this could drag us. This could drag us like way down. And that's the last spot of the highway that you can see. We were told the Skeena's, you gotta have some respect for the Skeena River. And Paul and I were finding out right then and there that we didn't show it enough respect when we first started crossing. And now that the tide's going out, we need to show some respect and we gotta work. It was probably about 45 minutes straight paddling our boats, head down as hard as you can and don't stop. Paul and I, we did it. We made it all the way through the Grease Trail. We were able to go from Kitimat down the Douglas Channel, up and through Kikiata, through this divide in the mountains, end up on the other side, like the Rupert side. Like, very cool. There's a much faster way to get there, and that's what I'm gonna take from now on to get to Rupert. And it's the highway, and you'll be at Rupert in a couple hours, as opposed to walking and paddling there for 4 days.